Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the France-Bangladesh Friendship Group for organizing this conference. It is my great honor as a coordinator of the Free Rohingya Coalition to address this distinguished audience. I am Lwin, a Rohingya born in Budinong Township in northern Rakhine Arakan State in Myanmar. My great-grandfather, Mr. Lwin, was officially recognized as an indigenous person by Burma in 1949 by the Minister of Justice. Both my grandfather were prominent government officers in Budinong. My parents, who are now residing in the UK as Rohingya, were once recognized as citizen and member of an official ethnic group. I myself was a Myanmar citizen and a holder of a Myanmar passport. However, my legal status tied to Myanmar was terminated due to my activity for my Rohingya people. My status since 2011 is now a refugee in Germany. As a blogger, I contribute to the Rohingya blogger, which was founded by my father, Umasi. Since I decided to work full-time as an activist against the genocide of the Rohingya, I have managed to form several teams in different towns in Arakan State. These teams report their latest news and provide updates for the Rohingya blogger. I want to utilize this opportunity to address the manner in which the victims of a 4-decade-long genocide are contributing to end the ongoing genocide. As you are all aware, we have been suffering under a genocidal campaign at the hand of Myanmar military and government since 1978. In 2012, many of our people did not have mobile phone nor landline phone to send off updated information, but the group had written the information by hand and spent a lot of money to send the report to me via neighboring country. My colleague in exile and myself then proceeded to circulate the report across the world via the Rohingya blogger. Since 2014, violence erupted again. By this time, our people were using mobile phone and we could organize more effectively to get updated information out of Arakan State. It is important to note that Rohingya people in Arakan State are living in an open-air prison. The Rohingya are unable to speak to us from inside their home. They have to find a secure place to hide even before they communicate via messaging application. I have to verify the eyewitness account and report I received. To date, I have spoken with thousands of victims. I can assure you there are no days without torture, sexual violence, harassment, and extortion for the Rohingya. As the Boragat police outposts are located in every village, the cases of human rights violation increase daily, and the law in Myanmar does nothing to protect the Rohingya. Those who have reported abuses by the police or military were victims of extortion and or jail. Many have been accused of sending information to our network abroad and have suffered the same fate. The contribution of the Rohingya people inside the country is easily overlooked, but they are the real heroes. They are putting their life in danger to inform the world about this genocide. Approximately 800,000 Rohingya have been forced to flee during the military operation in 2016 and 2017. Women were raped and gang raped. People were shot at indiscriminately. In fact, were thrown into burning fire, and the elderly were locked inside houses, which were then set alight by Myanmar military and Boragat police. Many of the Rohingya that were expelled from their home survived by only survive only by eating leaf and drinking water from stream as they journey on foot for more than a week to reach Bangladesh. Some managed to take their mobile phone and solar panel when they were expelled. These were then used to send updated information in the form of video and audio clip. The rape survivor revealed their identity and shared their traumatic experience. They then asked to upload their video and video message onto social media. They believe that if the international community saw what was happening, then it would be moved to take action to save them from the brutal atrocity being perpetrated against them. Now around 400,000 Rohingya remaining in the country. In situ, 130,000 are locked up in what can only be described as concentration camp, and the government will not allow them to return to their original villages. In town in central part of Arkansas State, Rohingya have been locked inside village and camp since 2012. There is no access to medical treatment for Rohingya. Recently, 2 women had to go to Bangladesh for emergency medical treatment and were arrested upon their return and sentenced to 3 years in prison. I am informed daily that more Rohingya in northern Arkansas State are dependent on food packages provided by the ICRC. With restriction against distributors still in place, in many villages, people have only received food packages once since August last year. I cannot even imagine how our people are surviving in those areas without medical care and food. It is now apparent that the government and military intend to force the Rohingya to leave their land by continued harassment and starving them. Despite the Rohingya continuing to flee Myanmar, the world is speaking about repatriation of more than 1 million people, as though it is a workable solution in the current climate. I was in the camp in Bangladesh just a month ago. It has been just over 9 months since the Rohingya were forced to flee, yet the standard of life for Rohingya remained extremely low. I witnessed as my father's cousin resigned herself to death because there is no medical care available for diseases like diabetes. There are thousands of people with the same fate. I appreciate the organization who are running child-friendly places in the camps, but there is no access to formal education for the hundreds of thousands of school-going age students who were forced to flee, and we do not know how long they will have to stay in the camp. There are thousands of students who have been passed the matriculation exam are stuck in the camp with no access to tertiary education. I am very concerned about their future prospects if they do not have access to formal education in the camps. The Rohingya are recognized as forcibly displaced Myanmar national in Bangladesh. My appeal here is to grant them refugee status, thereby granting them all the right afforded to the refugees. Myanmar has made repatriation impossible by building more concentration camps, which the state is calling transfer camp, and forcefully offering Rohingya the national verification card, which will give them the status of foreigner. The Myanmar military continue to threaten those taking refuge in the no man's lands at the border between Myanmar and Bangladesh. Even though the talk about repatriation continue, the Rohingya will not be able to return unless our homeland in Arkansas State is protected. Therefore, our demand is the protected return to protected homeland, and this can only be implemented by the international community. As I am speaking at the National Assembly of France, I would like to appeal to the government of France as a permanent member of United Nations Security Council. Please assist us to bring the Myanmar military criminal to the International Criminal Court so that we may seek justice and also help us fulfill our demand of the protected return to protected homeland. Thank you.